It's time to take a look at the Week 2 matchup where the Minnesota Vikings host the San Francisco 49ers in a game where we're going to find a lot out about this Minnesota Vikings team in general. This is a tough match. This is the first true match of the season because, let's be honest, the Giants, they stink. They're horrible. We're not playing Danny Dimes this week. No. We're playing Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers, and there's a chance that Christian McCaffrey doesn't play, but what if he does? What do we have to look forward to? Well, let's get right into it. Currently, the 49ers are 5.5-point favorites. I'm expecting that to drop a little bit if Christian McCaffrey does not play, but at the same time, if it stays there, I think it's a great line to have just because the Niners are a better team, or at least on paper they're a better team. And what they did last week against the Jets, Jordan Mason balled out in that backfield. Their passing game wasn't quite where I think you would expect it to be week 1, but week 2 it could definitely turn up, especially against this Minnesota Vikings secondary, which has had some holes in there. Week 1, there was a couple times where, look, the Giants receivers found their openings, right? Found those spots in that defense to really move the ball downfield, which is something we need to work on, something we need to be better. Currently, the over-under for this game is 46.5 points. Very doable, but again, it could be a defensive battle. It all comes down to the Minnesota Vikings stopping the run game. Whether it's Christian McCaffrey or Jordan Mason in that backfield, the run game has to be a point of emphasis. Slow that down, then we have a better chance to win this game. Let's look at what the Niners did week 1, just because that's going to give you a good gauge of what the Niners offense might be trying to do against the Minnesota Vikings, where basically, look, the run game is where it's at, right? Jordan Mason, 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown on the day. He balled out. He looked really good. No fumbles. They used Deebo Samuel, which is definitely going to be the case when you have a hybrid wide receiver / running back like Deebo in your offense. 8 carries, 23 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown. So I think when you're the Minnesota Vikings, you're looking at this game going, what do they do? What's their strength? It's the run game. Have to slow that down. Have to take Jordan Mason out of it. If it's Christian McCaffrey, it adds a different dynamic, right? You still have to slow down that run game, but Christian McCaffrey, as we all know, is still really, really good and excels in the receiving game as well. So if he does play, Christian McCaffrey has got to be a point of emphasis for this defense. Take him out of the game. Do not let him be a game wrecker. Defensively, though, for the Niners, look, they have a great defensive line. They have a great linebacker crew, a great secondary. It's going to be challenging for our Minnesota Vikings to really move the rock down the field at a consistent rate, at a good rate, if you will, and really try to take over this ball game. We have to start fast. We have to put points on the board in order to beat this roster right here, right? Brock Purdy can sling the rock. He's pretty decent. 19 of 29 last week, 231 yards on arguably the best defense in the National Football League last season. Maybe things are a little bit different this year, but still you're playing a good secondary with Sauce Gardner and all those other players on that defense. The receiving really wasn't that great. Jawan Jennings, their top receiver, 5 targets, 5 catches, 64 yards. Deebo with 54 yards. And, George Kittle was only targeted a couple times, and same with Brandon Ayuk. So I think the pass game it's still, you have to keep an eye on it. And again, it's going to be more dynamic with Christian McCaffrey in that lineup. But the Minnesota Vikings take out that run game. Take out whoever the running back is, Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey, I don't care who. You take them out of the game and make the Niners beat you through the air, which could also, that could be our kryptonite, right? Our secondary is not that great. Shaq Griffin, or what's his name off the top of my head? I can't think of it. We just brought Stephon Gilmore. We have to be tight. We have to be, close those holes in that zone. Play man-to-man coverage tight on these guys. Don't let them beat you over top. Play fundamentally sound football, cause these turnovers, and just bring it to them. It's going to be a tough matchup. I think we can win. I think the Niners are going to come away with this one. Unfortunately, yes, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, but you have to look at reality. Look, Niners are a better team on paper. They might be the better team on the field, but if the Minnesota Vikings can do just a couple things, right? Keep Sam Darnold up, make him, keep him comfortable in the pocket, keep that running game going with Aaron Jones, and get Justin Jefferson more involved in the offense. I think we can put points on the board. Defensively, it literally all comes down to who's the running back. Slow him down. Stop him. Make them beat you in the pass game. And I think the Vikings could win it. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen this week or this Sunday at noon? Do you think the Vikings are going to win? What's the outcome? Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of the night, folks. And Skol Vikes.